I'm good. Hello, Martin. Hello, everyone.
So good to finally
Okay,
meet you.
can you hear me clear?
I can perfectly.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good. That is really good.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
So, thank you for
Okay.
joining me.
No, actually, I really surprised because yesterday I just random to join your live yesterday, and then you text me and invite me as a guest. So I was really surprised. I didn't expect about that.
Well, we were started doing these 2 years ago, Moon. It was like just bring everyone on and let them just share their story of what they do, who they are, how they found Pilates, and also with the lockdown, like what pivots
Yeah.
did you make, right? So it just made for good conversations. And then all of a sudden, there's more and more people who started to show up. And we got to meet people, like I said, from all over the world. So for me, I'm so honored to have you and to learn more about what the Pilates landscape looks like where you live.
Uh, Actually, as you just saying, because of the COVID from last year, I stuck in my business. Like my city is locked down for about 3 or 4 months. I didn't get any
Yeah.
income for 4 months because they are not allowed any studio to open.
Hmm.
And the problems is I have almost my customer, they are Korean. I teach Korean group, and
Okay.
when I suggest them about how about online training, and they refuse. They say no, we don't want online training. If I want online training, I just open the YouTube and I watch it. I don't need to pay for the online training with you. Yeah, they say back to me
Ah.
like that. Yo, so sad.
So there's no way to overcome that objection? Like, you mean, like, that's the thing. Like, and for those of you who are in the chat, those are the challenges that we face, right? Like, everyone thinks I'm just going to pivot to online training, but what if people say no?
Yeah, but because I think that maybe that's not not that their habit to have the online training
Yes.
because I take the group, not personal trainer,
Okay,
not
more just a,
personal workout. So
yes.
that's why their schedule it may be different in lockdown time, and because almost them they're housewife. Because
Okay.
their husband to come to Vietnam to work, and then the wife to come to my class in the morning, and they have
Yes.
class. So then in lockdown time, I'm stuck.
Yes.
But now that's okay. Um,
Okay. I was gonna ask, what did you do? How did you adjust? How did you adjust to like not making, not having that traffic in your studio?
uh, from lockdown.
Yes.
Actually, I'm just enjoying it.
Ah, vacation for 3 months.
Actually, from the first month, I still have savings, and I feel okay. Just wait because actually we don't know how long we have to wait.
Right.
Um, but then after 1 month, I get stressful about this. Oh my God, how about this? Because at that time, my city it haven't got the vaccine yet, and a lot of people pass away about because of
Mm,
COVID.
yes.
So we were very scared about that. And then then I have to borrow my friend, I mean borrow money from my friend. They
Hmm.
support me for maybe 2 or 3 months. And then I talked to my father. I mean, maybe I cannot keep the business here.
Yes.
But he said, don't worry. It's just be safe. Yeah, just be safe. That's enough. So
Yes.
maybe when you save, then you can make money later. So just
Hmm.
be healthy, be happy. So that's it. And
Yes.
don't
Yes.
worry about money. Because if like he say like one door closed, we'll have many door open later. So just
Yes.
be positive. Yeah, I'm very happy that I have my father. It supports me
Hmm.
and support my mental health. So
Yes. No,
yeah.
that's a good point. Because when I was talking to one of my clients this morning, and it's saying, instead of worrying about all the things that are going wrong or going right, maybe sometimes we just need to be still
Yeah.
and to get some clarity and then run, because we can go in so many different directions and any one of them can be successful, But when we're
Mm,
worried and we're panicking, and then that affects our health when we're that worried, then we're
mm,
not in that place of health and that place of happiness where we can make the next step that's going to set us up
yeah. Yeah,
again.
and I think in COVID time, many people they learn a lot about new technique to teach. Like now we have many online classes open, grow up
Yes.
a lot. Yeah, and
Hmm.
I also study like I study how to make the video.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, some short, not my skill, yes, but I mean
Yeah.
just
Was it
take
like a
time to
course,
study
or
one by one. Yeah.
so did you take like
Um,
a course on it, or just like just taught yourself?
Um, no, I don't have online training yet. I mean,
Mhm.
we need to be active and we
Yes.
need to find something to do. So that's, I feel that I'm not useless at that time.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I have my own studio here. I stay in my
Hmm.
studio, not in my family. And I took some photos and make record some video for exercise.
Nice.
Yes, and I cooperate with the Decathlon. That's in the brand, the sport brand,
Okay.
Decathlon. Yes, and then I work for with them like ambassador Pilates
Good.
in Ho Chi Minh City, and they
Yeah.
asked me for a free Pilates class,
Hmm.
online class for their customer. Yeah,
Yes.
and then I agree about that. Then I feel okay, I can give free class. I will happy, very happy about that. Then
Yes.
I feel I have something to do. So
Yes. Yeah.
it's really good. Yeah.
Good. So, for those who don't know, Moon, I forgot to do this. I usually start the conversation with by just saying your name and your business,
I'm sorry.
and then we'll just go. That's okay. We just
Sorry.
started rambling on.
I will
So,
really enjoy about the conversation. Okay.
uh,
So my English name is Moon. So actually Vietnamese name is mean moon. So that's why
okay.
I make a nickname Moon. I finished I graduate in university with the major in sport biomedicine and spa technology.
Okay.
That's what I'm studying. And then I start to work as a fitness instructor, like in the
Okay.
third year in university.
And just more
Yeah,
like aerobics classes and group fitness classes and that sort of
and
thing.
a fitness class,
Fitness
fitness
classes.
class,
Okay.
because that is a subject we require to study when
Oh,
I
cool.
in university. Yeah, I study fitness and um, Pilates like because the university cooperates with the fitness center to send us go to the fitness center to study.
Okay.
Yes, and
Nice.
after I finish the subject, I call the owner that hi Miss Madam, I want to work with you. I want to study more about fitness. I want to
Mhm.
become personal trainer. I talked track to her, and
Yes.
she said, okay, just come, and we will do training for you. It's free training after 1 month,
Free
and
training.
it's like because at that area they need a trainer at that time. They
Yes.
need
Yes.
a worker, and because I just finished a call with them for a few months, and now I able. I mean, I have ability to work.
Yes.
So
And
they
they
just need to
trust you.
train me for like maybe 1 more month, and
Okay.
then I can work as a fitness instructor. And at that time, they also train me on reformer.
Oh, wow.
Yes, that
Okay.
12 years ago. 12 years ago.
Hmm.
Yeah, in 2010. I remember that. That studio, I think that is the first studio in Vietnam that have Pilates machine.
Really?
Yeah,
What
because
studio was that?
the owner she from America,
Oh,
but
nice.
original she Vietnamese, but she living in America, and then
Yes.
she came to Vietnam to open the business. The only she is the one bring the Pilates come to Vietnam, the first one.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
but
Yeah.
actually at that time no one in Vietnam knows about Pilates. Only the foreigner they living in Vietnam and they
Yes.
knew about Pilates before they came to uh, her center to join the class, but her business all about the private training, one by one.
Yes.
And yeah, I start to train for the customer from 2010, like private training. But actually, at that time, I don't know anything about Pilates. They just
Mhm.
teach me a movement, like
Yes.
like
Like
push or
the
open
method.
or something like that. And like when inhale one exhale and how many reps for that. And I just follow their training like that. But I actually at that time I don't have any like information what kind of exercise of Pilates, what is the purpose, or something like that. I just
Yes,
heard
yes,
that
yes.
like someone say, okay, you do Pilates, it can help you release the pain on the back. I just heard about that. And the
Yes.
guests come to the studio to study with me. They
Hmm.
also want to have to release the back pain. Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
And at that time I just do the movement for 2 3 months,
Interesting.
and they told me, okay, now their back recover. Like they can sit down for a long time. It not painful like before. And I
Yes.
just confused. I kept wondering, like, is it
Yeah.
amazing? But actually, I didn't know how to train them properly, like
Hmm.
how to control the core, how to use the pelvis or something like that. I didn't know about that.
Yes.
Then and because I didn't know, I don't like it because I don't
Because
have
you don't
passion.
have, right, exactly. So you don't
Yeah,
have all
so
the
I
tools to be
feel
able to help
it's
people.
boring. It's boring because the movement is just slow and do again and again. When I'm counting for my guests to move, I feel sleepy.
That's
And
too
then
funny.
I told my customer like, okay, we move to another room. We're lifting weight.
Yes, you just,
I, you're so crazy at that time because I'm really young at that time, like just the third year in university, and I don't know about Pilates. And then
so
when I
yeah,
finished
so good.
university, I worked for 1 more year, and then I stopped. I stopped to work with that center,
Hmm.
and I just focused on fitness. I studied more about fitness and work
Yeah.
at the gym. I start many positions at the gym from personal training, receptionist at the gym,
Hmm.
and manager, and and hire just improve and promote.
Yes.
And I move. I change another place and
Okay.
work as fitness manager, something like that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
So you get all the tools there to run your studio now as you built your way up over the years.
my studio
Yeah.
is small.
Yeah.
But a little messy now. I feel shy to show.
No, it's okay. Well, I mean, like how big is it? Because I mean, my studio as well is very small, right?
Because my studio just a mat walk. I mean, let me
Okay.
see. A
So you,
mat walk Pilates, like
oh yeah, yeah.
just small. I have maybe like 6 8 member in my studio. It's just like this.
There's a
Uh,
nice
it's
nice
like this.
logo.
And
Yeah.
my logo. The moon. Yes, that's my name.
What's going on to
That's it.
everyone who just joined us? This is
So
Pilates in
I have
Vietnam,
some
people.
ring bone, small bone, yeah, something, and
There
have
you go.
projector to show when I have the class.
Yes.
I train for teacher. Um,
Okay.
because I cooperate with the government in Vietnam, and then I can provide the certificate for
Really?
yes. Then
Brilliant.
I can provide a certificate for people who want to become a teacher, and they can work
Okay.
in Vietnam.
So Moon,
Um,
here's my question then. When I ask people how did you find Pilates and they explain their story and they explain their experience of learning Pilates, that often influences how they teach and how they equip the next generation of teachers. So do you feel that when you do your teacher training that you have an emphasis on preparation so that they're ready when people say I want to help with back pain or I want to help neck pain? Like do you feel like you really focus on that preparation piece because of how you were trained?
uh, okay, I will continue my story.
Yes.
Okay, and then I have a chance to work abroad. I work on a cruise ship. I had
Oh,
training
did
in
you?
London.
Cool.
I had training in London, but they trained me how to walk on the ship,
Mm,
and they also teach me Pilates. But it's the same. I mean, they just show me the movement, the exercise. What's next, next, next,
yes.
but they don't teach me how to control the core or use the
Hmm.
belly or the butt or something like that. Okay,
Yes.
then I work on the ship, and then when I finished the contract on the ship, I went to Vietnam, and I have chance to meet my teacher, the
Mm,
master Pilates. He is from Italy.
okay.
Uh, yeah. Actually, at that time, I worked at another gym as a fitness manager, and then my boss knew him from someone, and he came to the gym, and then he want to introduce them more about Pilates, and
Hmm.
then also told him that I knew about Pilates, but just a little.
Yes.
And after that, my boss it didn't work with him, and my master, my teacher, sent a message to me. I said, okay, if the boss don't want to work with you anymore, we can work together
Mm,
because
okay.
I have a connection with the government. Then we can open the Pilates teacher training
Oh,
training
perfect.
course. Then
Yes.
then we cooperate together, and he teach me, and we open the class, and I joined the class, and I studied from him like 3 years ago, just 3 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah,
No. Well, we're always learning, right? Whether it's 3 years
yeah.
ago or 30
But
years
I really
ago.
surprised. I surprised about what I studied because
Okay.
it's totally different with what I knew before.
How, so
Uh,
how? What was the difference?
it's like he teach about the
Breath.
breath. Yes, it's like how to control the breath. It's not normal breath. When you breathe, you have to control your core, your diaphragm, how to
Mhm.
move the diaphragm up
Mhm.
and down or push inside or
Yes.
something. Yeah, that's
Yes.
how he teach us. And he
Mhm.
teach when you're moving, how to control the body. Your
Yes.
sweet, your butt, or use the pelvis, something like that. Yes,
Yes.
and
Yes. Yes.
slowly, yeah, I knew about the technique, and I start to open more class to teach many customer, and they
It's,
feel it's amazing because they change their body. So because
yes.
my actually I have the 2 year with a Korean client. They are about like 50 years old. But
Okay.
at that age, all the body like many problem like the shoulder pain, back pain,
Yes. Knee
something like that.
pain.
Yeah. But
Yes.
now they can do the movement really smooth and really strong. Their core really strong now. And I
Great.
can see their day by day, I can see how they change.
Mhm.
So that's why I want to improve the Pilates in Vietnam from 3 years ago.
Amazing. I love that.
Yeah. So
And
and now
when,
I choose the Pilates like a courage for the rest of my life.
yes. Well,
Yeah.
I love that. And when I started working for the city of Mississauga, like my city, and
Yeah.
within it, they had like all these community centers and group fitness classes, and they were teaching Pilates classes, but they were like, maybe one here, one there, and not in every center. And same thing, like I love the work so much that I was trying to get more Pilates classes going in the city and
Hmm.
introduce more people to it because I recognize how it was helping them and they're feeling better and they're feeling stronger. Women would bring their husbands, they drag their husbands out to a class and then they would love it. And then I'd have these guys coming every single week. And so I identify with your passion for getting a city doing Pilates. You know what I mean? Like, I love that.
Hmm. Yeah. So I love it. But I need to study more because I just knew about Maxwell Pilates. I also
Yes.
know reformer, but it not
Reformer?
much. Yeah, but it not much. I want to join more class, more training about reformer or the
Yes.
Cadillac or some more equipment. But
Sure.
in Vietnam, I don't know the price in another country, but here the cost they charge for the training course is really, really expensive.
Okay.
Uh,
For the
yeah,
course or for the equipment?
for the course,
Okay.
just like you know, I think you know, Start Pilates. They have
Yes.
a system, a host
Yes.
in Vietnam, and now they charge the
Mm,
fee like two 2,000, 2,000 US,
yes.
2,000 US
Whew.
dollar
Yeah.
for each day, 8 days training.
Right. Wow.
Only mat work, only on the mat.
Yes.
And then next month they have another course for reformer. It's 2,600
US.
for yeah for for reformer.
That's I don't want to speak ill of any equipment company, but the high level conversation about accessibility comes into play here. So I don't know, for those of you who are watching too, um, that's the conversation that needs to be had. Like if you see that like there's something that's not there and they make it that high of a price point, that makes it very exclusive. Like who can afford to do that? How can it grow?
Mm.
And so what are the other ways to do it, right? So that's interesting. What other Pilates equipment manufacturers are there? And like here like we have Grotz and we have Body Balanced Body and we have this and we have that and we have all these other brands. Are there a lot of options for
So here,
equipment providers?
not yet. Here they don't
Bassi?
have any, not yet. We just import,
Yes.
just import. Now we don't have any uh, factory to make the machine or something. No, we don't have.
Okay.
And we're very close to China.
Yes. We're
Yes, and
fermented.
if you
Yeah.
want to order or something,
Hmm.
just order from China, and the cost is low.
Okay. Yeah. So there is ways around it. So I just for people in the chat, just as we're talking about this piece around accessibility of education and equipment to get more people doing Pilates, like that's I think it's one of those things where, um, yeah, like how do you
Um,
get around that?
oh, actually, in Vietnam, now people know Pilates by the machine. So they didn't know Pilates have mat work. So in their mind,
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
a lot of Vietnamese now they don't know about Pilates because a lot of studio or Pilates center they do promotion, they do the marketing about the machine.
Yes.
Then it's in the mind of the viewer. They think the Pilates is just on the machine.
It's just yes.
Yeah,
Well, that's
and
isn't it that's
many
isn't it
messages.
good.
I received many messages to in the inbox chat. But I told them that I only do math work, so they're not interested anymore. They think,
So
okay,
that's
oh
the
yes,
thing,
I can
right?
do. Oh
Right.
yes.
And
So that's
I'm
why I feel like I'm a little bit stuck now. I need
mm,
to buy the machine.
right. I would say okay, and you see some of the comments here. One Seeds for Greatness saying interesting background on Pilates in Vietnam. And I was asking about Bassi. Like Bassi builds her equipment in Turkey. So Bassi Pilates?
I They also have a house in Vietnam to open the training course
Oh,
for
Bassi
teacher.
does?
Yes, I see.
Okay, good. Yeah, Bassi I've had Rail on fantastic work, fantastic teachers. But I was gonna say about the equipment, and everyone, uh, you may or may not know that, but my background is in personal training, like in fitness as well. And so before I was doing Pilates, I was doing personal training, and that's the same thing that happens in the gym industry, where you come into the gym and it's like, look at all of my treadmills,
Mm.
right? But if you go into a lot of like real gyms with personal trainers who really understand what they're doing, you look at like Michael Piercy as an example of one of the gentlemen who comes on the shows from time to time. If you look at his gym, it's an open space. It's a flat room with just some equipment on the walls because you're using the body and you're challenging the body and you're not depending on equipment all the time. So I think people's mindset is if there's no equipment, I'm not going to get a good workout. Right. So then that's where you have to challenge that mindset with places like you who have a great studio that the mat work is the real work. The mat work is a challenge. And how do
Yeah.
we get people into that mindset instead of waiting for a machine to do the work for me, to actually come in and let your body be the machine?
Mhm.
I'm going to read Patricia's comment here. True, there is something about the reformer that calms the client. Other than the mat, it is much harder. Often on the mat, it is much harder. Yeah, so I mean, so that's it. There's something about that, about seeing the equipment. This is what I'm paying for, that gets people, right? But it does take some time and to get people to appreciate the mat work, or someone to appreciate in the fitness world calisthenics and body weight challenges, as opposed to using your Nautilus 2000 machine, right? It's the same kind of mindset that people are conditioned to look for equipment to think that they're getting a good workout.
Mhm. Mhm. But I mean, but from the basic, the like Joseph Pilates, they create the Pilates on the mat work first. That's the foundation.
Your
But when you
foundation.
get the good foundation, then you can go to the machine, go to the reformer, and you can control the core to move the body.
So
But
Moon,
people didn't know about that, so the
yeah,
customer don't know.
could
Customer
you
just interesting about the machine.
the machine?
So and uh, now some gym they put the Pilates machine in the gym. Just
Yes,
now, they just start to do it.
yes,
And we have one, but not in Ho Chi Minh City. In another province, my country is big city. In my country, they have very big gym and they have very big Pilates room with
yes.
like 19 reformer.
Wow,
Yes,
yes,
and then they have it they separate like a half they have reformer and a half for mass work. It's
yes.
very good design.
Good.
Yeah, the decoration is really nice. I will visit them next few days, maybe next week.
Hmm.
I will, yeah, maybe I will take some picture of them.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Can you imagine how people would be offended if you were to say to them, "That's okay. You're not ready for the mat work anyways. You're too weak to do the mat work anyway. You can use the machines." People would be
Yeah,
like,
I heard that. Like 2 years ago, I teach physical education in university. And one of my students told me that she studied on reformer, Pilates on reformer. And I asked her, did you try the math work Pilates? She say, she said that she asked the teacher in the studio. The teacher say the math work very difficult. So you should start with the machine first. So
"You're
I
right."
have no idea. I have no idea about that. Oh my God.
Okay, so imagine, so everyone, everybody, in the comment section, what do you think about that? Starting people on the reformer first and bringing them to the mat
Okay,
second?
I think
Just out of
because
curiosity, just for some feedback. I'm just curious because I
okay.
mean, you
So
can
for
start
me,
people anywhere, right?
because for me, when I do consultation for my customer, when they test me, and they ask me what's the difference between the mass work and a reformer, because I say I don't have reformer, I
Hmm.
just say, yeah, on mass work, that's it foundation. You can do for everyone. Everyone can do it from the basics, from slowly to make your core getting stronger,
Yes,
and the movement and everything. Then you can go to the machine and you can
yes.
do the exercise properly.
Hmm.
And another center, I think because they are do business. That's why they should want to introduce about the machine. Yeah,
Yes.
because the cost to charge the guest, uh, to charge the customer on the machine is much more expensive than on the network. So they
Well,
just want
yeah,
to introduce about the free farmer. Yeah,
I
that's
understand.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking. Yeah.
That's probably it. But at the same time, you can challenge that mindset and say, well, the mat work in theory should cost at least the same as the reformer because you're paying for that teacher's knowledge. You're not paying for the equipment. The equipment,
Yeah.
obviously, they have to recoup their costs on the equipment, but
Mm.
you're paying for the knowledge of the teacher in terms of your experience.
Mhm. Yeah, but
So
yeah, yeah, because we knew about that. So, but the customer they didn't know about it. And but I mean, because the business in Vietnam, they only focus on the machine. The
yes,
owner, they want to uh they want to looking for the customer study on the machine. Yeah.
yes. I'm gonna read some of the comments here. Seed for Greatness, Stefan is saying, I learned on the mat first with Chris, and it was helpful in my transition to the reformer. And then PVE Design says the foundation begins with the mat. Pilates Carey says the mat will always be harder, in my opinion, for people to understand. However, it's up to the teacher to teach the client how to use equipment and not ride the equipment. So those are great comments there. I was taught
Mhm.
to the mat work is almost like there's nowhere to hide in the mat work. The reformer guides the body in the way that it needs to go. So you have the springs, you have the straps, you have these things that are guiding the body in the way that it needs to move, leg circles and things of that nature. Whereas the mat work, there's nowhere to hide. So it's like the reformer guides you, and the mat work, in a sense, challenges you to find those things without something, leading you in the way you need to go, right? So I like using the mat work as a foundation, and I always have joy teaching people the mat work because I also know that I'm giving them tools that they can take with them. So if they never train with me again, at least they know how to do this. And if they remember even 5 of the exercises, that's 5 more exercises that they have in their toolbox than they had before.
Mhm.
And the other part to that too is when we're doing virtual classes, one of the things, Moon, that I used to do when we started doing virtual classes, when everyone went that way, is I would, instead of using like my advanced, my mat here with the strap and all these different
Mhm.
things, I would do the classes at home in the hallway on my second floor, just on the carpet. And I did it that way so it would take away the excuses. So, I mean, like everyone has a floor, like you don't even need a yoga mat. I'm just doing this on the carpet and go, right? And because of that, then it's like, okay, well, I have a floor, I have carpet. I don't need to have a raised mat. I don't need to have Pilates equipment. I don't need to have tools. And you're just giving them pieces that they can do on their own as well as get better by them, with your help, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Gary's comments. Okay, watch the replay. Thanks for jumping in. So we're talking about some of those lines that we say to our clients. So everybody, when I'm doing these conversations with people, I always ask them like, what is your message for your people? And one of the things that Moon said was like, be healthy, be happy. And we're talking about that a little bit at the beginning. And then you were
Yeah.
also saying about like not having regrets and not regretting what we didn't get a chance to do and that kind of thing. Can you talk a little bit more about that and what that means for you?
About, sorry, talk
About
about,
about like not regretting what you didn't get to do and like just enjoying our movement and the opportunity to exercise.
uh, in lockdown time last year.
Yes.
Oh, um, actually, yeah, I just read them time because actually I were very stressful at that time because
Mm-hmm.
if the government locked out for a long time, then I cannot making money, and I just thinking, oh my God, I have to close my business, I have to close the studio. I will do next?
Mm-hmm.
Stressful. So, and after that, okay, I just let it go. Then think positive. And I do some, yeah, video for the Pilates, like, but actually I make many video, but I didn't post. I
No?
didn't
Why?
bother. Yes, I make it for like introduce something about what is Pilates
Yes.
and how the technique when you breathe when you do
Yes.
Pilates. Yeah,
Yes.
and some the basic, very basic
Yes. But you didn't
exercise
post them?
for the beginner. Yes,
Yeah.
I do like 11, 11 video. 11, but one video about 5 to 10 minutes. Yes,
Okay.
I do it. Yes, one for one session, I think.
Good
Yes,
stuff.
and then I have because I have the a background. I It's like the white the white background. I put it
Yes.
out. It's like a studio, and I just selfie by myself. I just re
Perfect.
I post something. I post some post
Yes.
posting. Yeah, and took some photo.
Yes.
Yeah, I just enjoy the movement when I make the video, and I took the photo and up upload on Facebook or
Hmm.
Instagram or some of them. Yeah, it's just like to kill the time.
Yes. But you know what though? I always said this too that last year that all these quarantines and the lockdowns and stuff, we spend so much time working in our business that we didn't spend enough time working on our business. And things like making videos, making posts were things that I know before COVID and stuff. I was like, oh, one day I'll do that, and I didn't put a lot of effort into it. And then you have
Yeah,
all this time
yeah,
and then you
exactly.
start to work on your business in different ways, right? So that's good. Now you have, even if you don't put it out today, you have this whole catalog of exercises and things that I know that people ask me for workouts. I'm like, oh, let me go through all these videos, I'll send you one. So I have
Mhm.
information that I can keep connecting with people with. So yeah, like Patricia said, the unknown keeps us searching to create what's next. It helped us to create and make our business broader. So now that we're open, now you can do
Yeah.
more. You have live and you have online, and you can do all kinds of things.
Mhm. Yeah, I planned about that. I mean, I plan to open online training on
Mhm.
on the website, and maybe if someone want to have online training with me, they can go
Yes.
straight to the website and
Yes.
register there.
Sure.
Yeah. Like you're saying, we planned to do something, but we didn't do. Only in lockdown time, we have time to do it properly.
Yes.
And when I did it, then I feel, oh, I knew the mistake and I learned about that. So now I feel more confident in front of the camera.
Great. Yeah, absolutely. You don't care if you mess up. Like you can kind of just keep going and you can figure it out. And it's yeah. I learned a lot there. The so Moon, tell me about like your clientele right now. Like who is it primarily that you have? Like more women, more men, more older adults, younger people? Like what's the demographics of the people who come to you right now?
Right now, actually, I have 90% in Korean.
Okay.
Uh, yes, and I teach them um, at a group Korean, like
Group, yes.
four or five group Korean. And I just, because actually the main reason I opened the studio just only for the teacher training.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why I opened the studio. So, but I don't have any class in my studio. So
Hmm.
only for the teacher training, like 3 months, one time. After 3 months, I have class for
Yes.
10 days, and then I don't use the studio. Just
Okay,
two
interesting.
months ago, just
Yes.
2 months ago, I started to open the class in my studio. Now so
Oh,
far I have only one class, Vietnamese class, like
okay.
customer, yes,
Yeah.
and I don't. They work in the office. They have problem with the neck pain, shoulder
Yes.
pain. Yes,
Hmm.
and after 1 month, they exercise with me. They they told me that like before, some of them they do yoga, and they say they have problem with the shoulder. Always sweep the shoulder. It's really tip. I mean, it really is tight. And
Yes.
when they do handstand, push the hand down, they cannot relax the shoulder, always
Yes.
swing the shoulder. So that also makes the habits for them when they do exercise and
Hmm.
always feel tense and painful. But
Right.
when she do with me, I told her the way how to control, how to hold, but not relax. But don't use the tension on the shoulder. Just focus on your
Yes.
core, the core. And after 1 month, she said, yeah, she feel okay now. She feel better, much
Good.
better. She release the tension on the shoulder. And
Nice.
another, say, she before she do fitness, but I don't know what kind of exercise she did. But she said she never get wet, don't have sweat. Or
Yes.
when you do lifting weight or something at the gym, even the gym, they have they have air conditioner. No, I mean no conditioner.
No. Yeah. So even if the
Yeah,
room is
I
hot,
mean
she's still
even
not
it's hot
sweating.
temperature, but she
Yes.
cannot get wet. But
Yes.
she studied with me. She say
And she's
your studio is cold with AC, but I still get sweat.
sweaty. Yeah.
Yeah, it's sweaty. Yeah, and the core getting stronger. And if
Great.
she likes the feeling, she likes
Hmm.
that feeling.
Well, actually, Moon, it's funny because you say all those things, and I was gonna ask, like, how do you market? How do you grow your business? And that's the referrals, right? Like that person who works in the office is gonna go back and say my neck feels better, or this lady is gonna come back and say, this is the only time I sweat is when I do Pilates, and that
Mm.
grows it, right? So yeah. Oh, I sorry. And the question there: do you teach your father?
My father, okay, actually my father, he knew about some exercise, but I didn't teach him, but he should. Because now he do like massage therapy or do some
Okay.
treatment for the customer, just charity. It's like at home in
Yes.
he did for free. He studied by
Mm.
himself and
Oh,
he
really?
retired already. And now he
Yes.
just studied many things about the trigger point, about massage therapy, and how to
Yes.
release the pain, the tension, and the body. And many customer come to him, but uh, someone pay him. It's like okay, because if we don't take the money, they feel shy and they will they are afraid to come the next time. So
Oh,
they just
yeah.
give some a tip, like a tip,
Yes. A tip.
yes,
Yes.
something like that. But some
Okay.
poor people like my father don't get the money from them, just do for free, and she
Yes. Yes.
happy about that.
Yeah.
And and he know the exercise. So sometimes I teach him. I mean, I show him, combine with the show the guest what
Yes.
they need to do the exercise to open the posture. I mean, to correct the
Yes.
posture, to keep the back
Hmm.
straight, to relieve the
Yes.
pain. Yes,
Right.
I did show him, and then he showed to the patient.
Good. All right. So you have your Korean population, you have a few Vietnamese customers. Who is your favorite type of client to work with?
um, so far, I prefer foreigner.
Ah,
Okay, I will tell you why.
okay.
Actually, I just start up. And I choose the place to work. I mean, I
Okay.
arrange the a place to open my studio. So I need the target customer. That's a foreigner
Nice. Right.
because he
Okay.
can. I will get the good, well paying.
Yes.
Honestly,
Good.
honestly, we work with the passion, but we also need money for living, right? So
That's real
that's
talk.
why
Yeah.
that's why so far my target customer that's a
Yeah.
foreigner because where I'm living now there are lots of foreigner living in Vietnam. They do
Okay.
business in Vietnam, and then
Yes.
I can charge the high price. If I compare with the Vietnamese, I can charge them high, but that's okay for them. But if I charge the same price with Vietnamese, it must be over for Vietnamese.
Yes.
So,
So they have
but
some
um,
places do like a sliding scale, or they offer like discounts for different things. Like there are some models that people use where it's just like, this is your price point and this is your price point. But what you're saying there, I totally get that. I understand.
Sorry.
Okay,
What
so
is
like
the
say,
point?
oh, your father, that comment there. So saying that your father can give you referrals from the people he's working on and refer people back to you.
Prefer. No, actually, it's far away. My place
Oh, I
and
see.
my father is far away. It
Okay.
cannot be like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, my course it depends on who. Someone I teach them for free or maybe just very low price because
Yes.
we have some connection. Um,
Yes.
yeah, but someone I didn't get any discount. Uh, It depends on who.
Yes. Yes. That's
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I appreciate those comments. Okay, yeah. So she's back to teaching. Thanks for joining us, PV
Thank
Design. Thank you,
you.
Patricia. I was gonna say I appreciate that because those are the conversations that we often don't have because this is like that warm fuzzy profession, right? You like helping people, you like making people feel better, but we need to live, right? We need to make money. You need to be
Yeah.
able to provide for your family and all those different things. So how do you do this job well and get paid for it, but then also help as many people as possible?
Sorry. How to?
How do you do the job well and get paid, but then also help as many people as possible?
Oh, okay. That's why I want to take the teacher. I want to
Mm-hmm.
open Pilates
Like
teacher training
teacher
course.
training, yes.
Yeah. So I teach the teacher and then they can go back their our place, like another
Yes.
province. They come to me to have a class and then they
Mm-hmm.
go their province, their place, and they
Yes.
open more class with low price and
Yes.
they can share. So that's
Yes.
what I'm planning to do. Because
Amazing.
I have my out customer and I also my purpose for my shop
Mm-hmm.
that I teach.
Yes.
And then after I training them, I can open more class with low price for
Yes.
my students, so they can teach
Yes.
with low price. Yes, so that's how I came
Nice.
to finance.
That's a great vision. That's a fantastic vision. That's I think that's what we need, right? So
Mhm.
that is one of the questions actually that came up. Moon, I think you were watching the other day when we were talking about mentoring. So I'd love to hear from your perspective. Is there a difference in your mind between teaching, like tutoring, and mentoring? Like, is there any like how would you kind of explain what the mentoring process is in what you're doing?
Mentoring,
Yeah.
mentoring is my
Men,
sorry.
yeah, okay, so that's what I was asking. So mentoring is kind of like it's not just teaching, but like making them leaders and like the how can I what's the example? Like you're saying like the Pilates masters who are kind of showing you how to be a teacher, not just giving you the exercises.
Mm, yeah, like the skill to teach the customer.
Yes.
That's what you mean.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Okay,
Wait,
so
I ask again.
yes,
So
yes.
sometimes
That's
my English is over.
That's fine. And this time we'll take our time with it. What you're saying about teaching people and teaching teachers, right?
Ah,
And then teacher training programs, that's what I was saying. That's good work.
mm,
And how do you make how can I put this? There's an element there beyond besides just teaching teachers the exercises, is like how do you make them good teachers? How do you make them good people? And you know what I mean? Like
oh,
that piece of
okay, okay, okay.
you see what I'm saying? Yeah.
Um,
So
oh,
someone help me with
okay.
this. I'm just trying to think
I,
about like how do you
when I teach the teacher, I
Mhm.
don't teach them movement. Yeah, actually, I don't teach the movement a lot.
Okay.
I told them, if you want to have more exercise, a lot of exercise, go to YouTube. You can get from there.
Right.
Yeah, I told them like that. So
Yes.
from here, I teach you the skill how to teach and how to create the exercise, how to create the
Right.
movement. It's
Right.
will based on the anatomy, mobility, and motivation. That's, I mean,
Yes.
because we knew, if we know a lot about anatomy, we know about how your body working, how your body moving, and
Yes.
then you can cooperate together and you can create the movement. So whatever you can do, you just do it. So we don't need,
Yes.
sometimes you don't need to remember that what we do next. Okay, you just look the body. How many movement the joy can do
Yes.
it. Just how to create
Yes.
it. That's in the way I teach them, because someone asked me how long for the course. I say like 8 days or 7 days or something like that. I say, how come we can remember on the exercise or something like that? Okay, listen. I don't teach you exercise. I don't teach you how to
Mm.
remember the exercise. I will
Yes.
teach you how to create the exercise.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, that's how I
That's
teach them. Yeah.
that's exactly it. See, everybody, it was worth the struggle and the, the challenge of getting that out. If you want exercises, go to YouTube. If you want to learn how to move, talk to Moon.
Do you know, want to know how about skill to teach, how skill to move? Yes, come talk to me.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Love that.
Actually,
I think that's
just,
how. Sorry,
yeah,
go ahead.
sorry.
No,
I
no,
mean,
you're
I
good.
just a new teacher, like just 2 3 years on network. I need to study more and more, and I need to study. I learn more from Martin as well.
Well,
Yes.
that's it. I think we're all in that place where we should be still learning. And whether you have 15 years under your belt or 15 months under your belt, you do your best with what you have and
Mm.
continue to learn, right? So I love the fact that you are passionate about teaching and getting more Pilates in your city and in your area. And I hope that your vision continues to grow and that people find you and that you are making lots of money working with foreigners and you can use
Well,
that
thank you.
profitability to be a blessing to your people as well, right? So all that's important.
Yeah, thank you, Martin. I
Thank
wish
you.
you the same.
I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
That was really fast. It's at 10. It's like 56 already.
Oh my God. Yes, it almost 1 hour. I
It's almost
didn't
out.
know that our conversation will keep long like that. Okay.
Yes. There's so much to say, right? And there's so much to learn. And I'm really looking forward to following you through Instagram on your journey and seeing what you're doing. I'm excited to see how your business grows.
Sorry.
So
Sorry, I
I'm
missed the comment. I didn't
oh
listen to
yes.
you.
Oh yeah, sorry. Actually,
Sorry.
I missed that comment too.
Uh,
Here's the comment. From Seed for Greatness. Awesome interview with Moon. She is giving some great insights, following her passion and running a business.
well,
And
thank you so much.
good stuff. Yes. All right.
That's
So
nice.
before Instagram closes us out, thank you so much, Moon. I really appreciate your time.
Yeah. Thank you for
And
inviting me.
yes, and thank you to everyone in the chat who was joining us, and to those like Carrie and Patricia who had to leave. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you on the replay. And Moon, I will send you the link to this so you can repost this on your page if you want to take some comments out of it and share it with your people to help your business.
Okay.
Please feel free to use all kinds anything that we talked about today.
Thank you so much.
All
Thank you,
right.
Martin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay,
Have
it's
a great
nice to
day.
talk to you,
So nice
and
talking to
thanks
you.
for watching us. Thank
Yes.
you.
All right.
Okay, bye
All right.
bye.
Bye.